Kobe, Pratt, all those guys, NFL guys. So, we had some older guys try to step up into those roles, and I would say it was unsuccessful. We won 4 games that year, so that kind of speaks for itself. And just after that, it was kind of like a hopeless feeling. Your first taste of college football is you can go look at the scores. We were getting blown out every single week, and that was my first taste of college football. It was like a punch in the mouth. And got hit in the mouth, and it was kind of just from that point on. It's like I never want that feeling again. Like whether it was in the building, the relationships we had between coaches and players, whatever it was. And just since then we've been constantly building on it, just trying to make it better and just be a great place to be. And that's where we're at right now.
So is there a specific moment or a game that you kind of felt like that culture shift really resonated with you and with the team?
I wouldn't say like a game because I feel like culture is built in like the offseason. Through the workouts, the shared adversity and stuff like that. So like during that 2020 off season, especially COVID, we all got sent home, so it was even harder to try and build that. So we were trying to build a culture. We're trying to kind of start over. We're trying to find our identity, and we can't even be with each other. So that was difficult, but we stayed in contact. We held each other accountable. We were checking in on each other, trying to make sure we're getting our workouts in, and that just really spoke a lot for our team and what we were trying to do, what we were trying to get changed.
Are there things from that summer that you've taken into the off season that have followed, whether it be the constant check-ins or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it just helped us learn how to keep each other accountable. Just make sure that we're all staying on our P's and Q's, and we're taking our responsibilities and getting them done every single day.
So far this offseason, what do you see out of the young linebackers? Anyone standing out to you so far?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of guys that have played in that room. You got obviously me, Isaiah, and Peyton. Jalen Scott started games. Devin Betty started games. And then you got Caden Fordham is a freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Really good player. Torin Wright just got there. True freshman. He's a kid that has a lot of potential. Jordan Poole's another kid that a great athlete, has a lot of potential. There's so many guys in that room that have potential, and there's so much talent, and it's really, really fun to be a part of that.
So many guys have got the journey, some of the seniors and the grad students on defense this year. I guess what's been kind of the message to the younger guys who maybe not necessarily could move up to a thing?
Yeah, I guess we just want to set the best example that we can. I think the biggest thing that, the message that I would try to give to them is that what we have done, where we've gotten, where we've gone, it's not easy. And so, older guys, we've experienced the other end of things. So I think that would be the biggest thing that I would try to, give to them is that don't take it lightly. And, eventually when we're gone, don't slack. Don't, think the culture. Don't take the culture for granted because we've been on the other end of things, and that's not fun.
Coach said last year's stats don't win this year's games, but how much do they maybe motivate you or provide some, tangible goals for this season as to what this defense can achieve?
Yeah, I would say last year's stats only provide motivation because they weren't number one. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the best, and that's our goal in everything that we do. We want to be the best as a defense. As linebackers, we want to be the best. As a team, we want to be number one. So that's really the main motivation. Now, that's really the only thing I would say about the stats is that they weren't at the top. They weren't at the very top, so it's not good enough for us.
You and Isaiah have played multiple linebacker spots. What makes it fit with them in the middle and you on the outside? And also, what was it like trying to lift their spirits up when they went through their injuries with Peyton and Isaiah last year?
Can you repeat the first part of the question again? Sorry.
You and Isaiah both have played multiple linebacker spots. What makes it fit with him in the middle and you on the outside?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of I would say I've stepped up into a more vocal role, but he originally was the vocal guy. He's the one that gets the defense going. We rally around him. He's in the middle. He's a big presence, and he kind of runs the whole thing, And I kind of just provide support to him where he needs it in the outside. I can feed plays back to him. I can set the edges. I can make plays off the edge. And I think even Peyton on the weak side, we just really, really mesh well together, and we work really well off of each other.
How did you kind of lift their spirits up when they were going through their injuries?
Just trying to check up on them, something like that. I'm sure you guys know, they have big plans for themselves, as we all do. We all have dreams and aspirations, and something like that to happen, I've been through injury, I've known how that's made me feel, and to be in there, like put myself in their shoes, I know how I would feel from it. So just trying to, make sure they're good, check up on them, lend a hand when they need it, whatever it is, and just really just show there's genuine love there.
When did it hit you this offseason that everybody was coming back on defense?
You said when did it hit me?
When did it hit you kind of like most of the defense was back?
Yeah. So I would say before spring, obviously guys are still kind of going through their injuries. They're recovering. And then there's still some guys out during spring ball. I would say probably summer one when everybody's back in there working out together. It's like, okay, this group, it can be special, and I can't wait to be back on the field with them.
Talk about that the group and all the returning guys. With that, there comes a little bit higher expectation level. When you peek at the national publications, we're starting to see NC State who's in the conversation. What does that mean for you as a player to read that stuff, see that stuff, or do you kind of totally tune out?
Yeah, I try to just tune it out, to be honest. But honestly, we have high expectations for ourselves every single year. Last year going into the year as a defense, we wanted to be the best defense in the country. That was our goal. So really, like the outside expectations, now that they're matching ours, it doesn't really do anything to me personally. And I don't think we have a mature group. We have an older group of guys, so I think that helps in staying focused and kind of just blocking out the outside noise. Yeah, they want it. Yeah, they really want it. I can definitely see that. They want it really bad, but I mean, nobody wants it as bad as us. Nobody wants to go out there and win all these games as bad as we do. We put it, and obviously it's greatly appreciated how bad they want it. Like, it does not go unrecognized, and we are very appreciative for our fans. But we want it bad too. Like, we want it just as bad, probably worse.
Along those lines, you stayed home for college, as you mentioned earlier. At ACC, you could have gone to a lot of different schools. What is it like to be at your hometown college and be a winner? And what would you tell other players who have the option of staying home for college?
So when I was going through my high school recruitment, obviously guys at NC State were Bradley Chubb, Ryan Finley, Jermaine Pratt, all those guys that got drafted, Naheem Hines, local guy. And just being as a recruit at games like the Lamar Jackson Louisville Thursday night game, and you see them almost beat Clemson at the end of the game, but slip up, whatever it was. You see the vision, you see it, and you see the atmosphere, and you see just like the potential there to be considered a top program in the country. And I saw that, and the guys that I got, or that all kind of came with me, we all saw that vision. And to be able to kind of work our way to where we are now, it's exactly what I had in mind. It literally, there's interviews for me in high school. This is exactly what I had in mind. And, I have really big goals for this year, and I can't wait to get started.
Hey, Drake,
Yeah, I think Coach Doran kind of spoke about it in the press conference. Just, small plays, little plays, just making, sometimes it's a routine play that you need to make. And he said, we won games off those same routine plays too, small little plays, just making them when they come your way, doing your job to the best of your ability, and when the play comes your way, make it, be prepared.
Drake, Isaiah said that you were really instrumental in this recovery. How did this bond strengthen over the last year?
Yeah, I mean, him and Peyton being in the training room together, putting in work early. I've been there before too, so I know how it feels. You can grow. You can get tired. You don't want to get in there anymore. It's early and it's a lot of work. It's hard work on top of the workouts that you're doing too. So I know how it gets in there, and I just always make it a point to get in there and check up on those guys, because I know what it can be like. The toll it can take mentally, especially when you're not out there for spring. You don't have ball in your life at the time. That's a huge part of our lives. Football. We're football players. It's just finding out, what you love outside of that, and who you are as a person, just making sure, checking up on the guys that don't have ball in their life at the time, making sure they're good.
Besides, just checking them in, patting his back, were there any specific things you do just to kind of, lift him up, right in his day, that kind of thing?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't bring him any presents or anything like that. Right. But just hit him up, see what he's up to. ask him how he's feeling, just basic stuff to show him that I cared, because I really do. There's a lot of genuine love in that building, and I do really care how they are doing on a day-to-day basis.
Hey, Drake, I hate to bring up bad memories, but what was your immediate reaction when you found out UCLA had canceled the bowl game?
Just kind of like disbelief. It's like I'm waking up from a nap, and I'm getting ready to walk down to the pregame meal, and Adam Schefter puts it out on Twitter. It's like, there's no way. Like, we're about to play in like 3 hours. So disbelief, and it's just very shocking, hard to believe, and just
So after that, was it like, after the disbelief, was it anger? Was it what? I mean,
just disappointing, just very disappointing, disheartening, kind of like, stomach kind of just drops. Like, spent Christmas out there. My family was fortunate. Like, I was fortunate enough to have my family there during that time on Christmas. But the majority of the guys didn't have their families there during the holidays. So we missed Christmas with our family back home, and just spending that time away. And it kind of just felt like it was all for no reason.
Was it surprising because up to that point, UCLA had
Yeah, they said they were playing. I mean, yeah, they said it was surprising. They said we're playing. So yeah, it was surprising. But right now, we can't change it. So it is what it is.
I know Dave Dorn has talked about it a little bit, but you feel like that basically they could have played, but they.
I have no idea what their situation over there was. I know if it was our team, that it didn't matter who was out, who was sick, whatever it was, we were going out there. So I know that for I can speak on that for my team.
Does that motivate you this year? Having potential Heisman candidate like that on your team kind of motivates you? How does it help playing in practice against him every day?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun going out there and playing against Devin every single day. He pushes me to be better. He brings a competitive edge every single day to practice, and it just, we're going to war every single day. I don't want them to get a yard on us, and he wants to score every single time on us. So just having that kind of competition with someone, on the field, on my team is, a great thing to have.
Going back to the left line question, does that motivate you? What happened in California?
Yeah.
Or you just flush that and say,
No. I mean, it definitely is motivation. That 10th win, it's like, part of your legacy. It's a part of, the mark you leave at NC State. One team in NC State history ever to win 10 games or more. Like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that group of people that have considered to be able to do that. I want this team to be remembered for something like that. So for that to be kind of taken away from us and not even give us an opportunity for it is, it's motivation to get back to that point this year.
Along those same lines, the ACC looks pretty strong because of the grant of rights, but you just don't know how things are going to go.
Yeah.
How important is it for this team to strengthen NC State's brand nationally by bringing some championship attention to the program?
You said how important is it? I guess with
not just for y'all.
For I guess if you look at the landscape of college football, it's starting to change a little bit. I don't really necessarily know what's going to happen. I really have no idea, but I would say it's pretty important for us to show what our program and our sports program has to offer. Show how passionate our fans are, how great NC State is of a place. I think a lot rides on this year, besides wins and losses. So I think it's really important this year, just because the landscape of college sports in general is changing, and we want NC State to be viewed as a top priority for whatever it is.
And how fun has it been to play with you on the same team as your brother? And both of you have this kind of success that you've had.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It doesn't come often. I don't know how many other people can say that they get to do this, but just having the shared experiences, the good, the bad, obviously growing up together, the good, the bad, just seeing it all, and just seeing it all come to fruition, it just, a blessing. And we are very grateful to be in the shoes that we are.
What was it like to spend spring break with Devin?
Spring break?
Yeah.
I didn't spend.
You didn't? I thought you went to Myrtle.
That was 4th of July, but
4th of July. That's right.
Yeah, you're good. It was fun. Devin's a good friend. I met Devin in high school at the Rivals 5-Star Challenge in Indianapolis, and and introduced myself because he was committed to NC State. I wasn't committed at the time, but my brother was there. He was going to play quarterback. Introduced myself. Ever since then, he would come on a visit. We would, hang out. He got here before I did, and then that fall, I hung out with him a couple times. So just having a growing relationship. I feel like the relationship that he has with defensive guys is kind of rare a little bit. I feel like a lot of times guys on defense don't like quarterbacks, but that's one of my best friends. That's my brother, really, and I know he has my back on the field, and I got his.
You're very definitive me because I always hated quarterback.
Yeah.
With that being said, one of the coaches that coaches you up is Coach Thunder, and I know that you're a player that a lot of people draw the comparison because you all are both a little on the undersized side, but y'all both make immense impacts and are extremely violent with your hands on the field. So what does it mean to be coached by a guy like that as far as your strength conditioning program ran by him?
Yeah, it's good to have someone who has shared experiences, someone I can relate to, someone that has been in the positions that I've been in. That just makes everything that they tell you or they're teaching you, whatever, it makes it that much more meaningful. You take it to heart even more because it comes from a good place, and that they know what it feels like to be in your shoes.
What kind of fun things does he have you do in the weight room? And I noticed he puts out some videos. You guys do some crazy competitions.
Yeah, like tug of war and stuff like that. And we do some fun stuff in the weight room. It's a lot of fun. It's something I really take a lot of pride in, is my training. I've made a lot of progress since I've been at NC State, and I have a lot of fun in the weight room, and it's probably one of my favorite things to do.
Drake, one of the heritage coaches just passed away, Charles Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know how well you knew him, but what can you say about what you know about him and what he's meant to the